How to search for businesses on LinkedIn using the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Hi, this is Chris Cozzolino, the co-founder and head of services at Uptown Creation, a B2B marketing and business development company. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to search for companies and businesses using LinkedIn Sales Navigator. There's a lot of features that you're able to take advantage of, like new companies that have received funding within the last 90 days, companies that are hiring and getting a lot of new employees, who have had senior leadership changes within the last 90 days, and much, much more. So let's jump into exploring this in the Sales Navigator. So if we go to the front page of Sales Navigator, the first thing that I want to show you guys is this alerts section. And LinkedIn is making this more and more robust. So it's basic alerts of if a company makes a post on LinkedIn, if there's been any changes in leadership, if there's any specific trends that LinkedIn identifies based on new people identifying that they're working at a company or companies just posting. So I think the utility of this is really to stay up to date with some companies of interest that you might want to work with and see what's happening in the news specifically. And then any ways you're able to leverage that to start conversations with decision makers. So you can even turn on alerts just for account updates, and then it'll sort for the people that are posting. And you can go to those posts and then leave comments, like and engage and get seen before you reach out. You can look for accounts that are at risk. So this is a new feature that LinkedIn has. So 2 days ago, it says Cigna has slowed growth. There had been a reduced headcount and less job openings than usual. So the utility to that really is specific. But if you have any need to learn about companies that are slowing growth, that are increasing growth, this is a really good way to do that at a glance. Now, to get more robust, if we click into all filters, this is really where LinkedIn starts to shine. And so by default, it's going to be lead filters. And what lead filters are just your regular everyday searching for people. If you change it over to account filters, now we're searching for companies and businesses. Let's search the United States. We'll put in hospital and healthcare, and then let's just do that to see what comes up. So we see that we have 64,000 total results. 1,000 of those companies have had senior leadership changes within the last 3 months. And then 74 companies have had funding events. So this is how you're going to find companies that have had funding events. And you can search based on industry, you can search based on revenue, you can search based on technologies that they use, or just the country as a whole. So in the United States, within the last 12 months that LinkedIn's able to identify, there's been 2,000 companies that have had funding events. Obviously, you can see a lot of these companies are really big, but you can narrow it down by, let's say, 1 to 9 million in revenue. Now there's only 149 companies that fit into this category, but then a ton of decision makers at each one of those companies that you're able to reach out to and start conversations. So that leads me to the next thing. The other really good feature is being able to search for company revenue. And obviously, this is only an estimate based on a number of factors that LinkedIn has available to them. But if I put in 1 to 9 million revenue, what that's going to do is anybody that has the lower end of the number be between 1 and 9, that's who it's going to show me. So it could be 9 million to 20 million, and it would still show me that company, even though it's higher. You can see that this is 5 to 10 million, which is obviously higher than my limit of 9 million. But that's because this revenue filter goes based on that lower threshold. But this is a really good way if you're searching for, obviously a certain revenue range, so they are able to afford whatever coaching service or software solution you're trying to provide. This is a good way to start determining if it would be a good market fit. And then you're able to search, department headcount. So if you only want to target a specific area of a company, this is a good way to find that. And then there's a number of other filters that I won't go too into, just for the sake of time, but I would encourage you to go and just click around yourself. The last thing that I want to do is actually go into a company and then show you the company specific page and the utility for it. So obviously you get a description, which is really helpful to just learn more about how the company is describing themselves. You also get access to all of the employees that identify they work there, as well as the decision makers. So if I click decision makers, what it brings up is the normal lead search filters, but for this company specifically. So it's giving me C-level, director level, and vice president level people. If I go back to the account page now, I can see the recommended leads that LinkedIn is giving me, which have some utility to them. I think looking at the people who are new to roles in the last 90 days or that have posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days are really good filters to use just to get a glance and to start looking at people that might be good to start a conversation with. Even if this isn't the ideal person to get in touch with, the good thing is if you're sorting by people who have posted in the last 30 days, you could start a conversation with somebody you know is active and then get a referral to the person that you're really trying to talk to. And the last section of the account page is this news and insights. I'll probably click into another one just so I'm able to show the news area because there's no news for this company, Frog. But what I think is really interesting is this employee count over here. So for the last 6 months, you can see their employee growth. So in August 2020, they were at 981 employees, and now they're at 1,029. So they're up 48 people or 5%. And then you can see the breakdown of the department. So it looks like they've actually had a decrease in their human resources department, but then their IT sector has really grown within the past 6 months, and it's the highest at 12%. So that's good knowledge just to see where a company's at, what their priorities are, and where they might need some help as well. So I'll go into a bigger account just so we can see that news component in action. So for Apple, if I click, it's going to show me all of the news updates that have been posted for the last couple of weeks. So today is February 3rd, and it's showing me all of the mentions from that day, as well as yesterday and the day before. And then I'm able to click into these news articles, and it'll bring me off of LinkedIn to Forbes in this case, where then I'm able to read about it if it's an interesting title. Again, I think the utility of this is really just to see what's going on at the company and be able to start conversations around current events that are happening and be able to identify those current events. Hopefully this was a helpful video. I think the key utilities here are being able to determine company revenue, as well as determining companies that have raised funding or have leadership turnover within the last 90 days. And then being able to use that as an entrance point to start conversations with key decision makers in your area. Feel free to subscribe to this channel, check out our website at uptowncreation.com, and reach out to me on LinkedIn with any questions or leave them in the comments below. Until next time.